What is up, YouTube? It's RS Mario here, and alright, so I've been kind of avoiding these because I don't want it to be true. But recently, there has been a rumor about a Pokemon Yellow remake, which I know sounds kind of random, but yeah, it's Pokemon Yellow remake. It's called Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, so two different versions. So yeah, there's been a huge post about this. And just the volume of information makes me feel like it could be fake. But Nintendo have already bought the domain names for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So this could very well be real. So I decided to go ahead and pull the trigger and actually cover this wall of text. So I'm going to try to condense it as much as possible for you guys. So it says, this is what I've got so far. So Pokemon Switch games are a Yellow sequel, so not a remake, a sequel. Pokemon Yellow. They are meant to celebrate the change in what has happened in Pokemon over the last 20 years, and the team wants to pay respect to the history that has come before, but also realize that moving forward onto the Switch is a new frontier full of promise. So basically, the whole thing with tradition in the past that they had. I think that rumor came out a while back, and so one game is actually supposed to be set in past Hoenn, and another game is supposed to be set in future. Not Hoenn, past Kanto, and which is the Pikachu version, and the Eevee version is future Kanto. So what does that mean? They're gonna try to make Eevee like a co-mascot of the franchise, or he's the future. Eevee's the future of the franchise. It's evolution. But, well, yeah, he is the evolution Pokemon, so that's probably why the evolution of Pokemon, yeah, the evolution of Pokemon, I see that. So Pokemon will follow you in the overworld, which originated in Pokemon Yellow. If I'm kind of moving a lot, it's because I've been standing for a couple of hours. I've been recording videos and doing all kind of stuff, but, yeah, just bear with me. But, yeah, so, following Pokemon comes back, more Pokemon appear in the overworld due to the Switch's capabilities, which is fine. There is a battle arena exclusive to the Switch's dock mode, which has improved textures and graphics. Interesting. I didn't think the Switch was going to be able to do that, but okay. Eevee has been so heavily promoted since the start of 2018. So basically, they're saying all the promotions for Eevee has been a setup for this game. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon directly preceded these games because they wanted to introduce Ultra Space. Let's see. All the legendaries could be caught there to represent the vastness of the Pokemon timeline and history. The year-long legendary distribution was also to lead up to these games, which it's kind of weird. If you can catch all the legends in Pokemon Switch, why would you give them all out on 3DS? See, there's some contradictions in this, too. The version of Kanto in these games is technically two other Ultra Space pockets. A separate one for from the original Game Boy version. The two versions are Pikachu, which is tradition, and Eevee, which is evolution. The versions are far more different from each other than any previous paired game. There's a contradiction coming up with that too. Let's see. That is what's taking the team so long, because they are practically two separate regions of Kanto. Two separate versions of Kanto. So the game will release in Nintendo's fiscal year. So Nintendo's fiscal year, if I'm not mistaken, ends in February. So that means that technically the launch window is open till February of 2019. So, which is it's not bad. February is not a bad time to release a game at all. I mean, look at what happened with Horizon Zero Dawn and Neo and all those games were February titles, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, so they actually mentioned some of the other leaks. So they said that they're not sure where this apocalyptic stuff came from, but it's not as drastic as the rumors are making it out to be. One is more futuristic and one is not. Some of the smaller towns are a bit more run down, and some of the bigger cities are more technologically advanced and built up, but apocalyptic is stretching the truth. So the whole thing with like sunken Kanto or wrecked Kanto, they're calling that out saying it's not exactly true. So then here's the contradiction right here. So the reason these two games must be in two separate Ultra Space pockets is because the same basic story takes place in both versions, albeit with subtle changes to reflect the different environments. So right above, they said, like, 3 or 4 lines above, they said it was like 2 different games, but it's 2 different games with the same story? Okay, I mean, I can kind of see it being like, oh, it's the struggle of the future. Like in the futuristic one, it's past versus tradition versus the future, and tradition is kind of like the bad guy because it's the future game, and the other one, the future is kind of the bad guy because it's the past game. I can see that, but still, it's kind of like a contradiction to me just a little bit. And so this can simply be viewed as history repeating itself, but alternate versions of classic characters show up in both games, which indicates that it takes place in it can't take place in the same timeline. So following the theme, the main story's conflict with the enemy organization is their drive to destroy traditions in the quest to make huge leaps forward. So, okay, so then I was wrong. So these games are being developed to excite longtime Pokemon fans, but also accessible to newfound fan base. Basically what they're saying is Pokemon Go integration. So this is what I was worried about. So from what they were saying in this, because it's actually like a long thing of text. That's why I'm going back and forward, because it's like a lot of text. But so yeah, so basically what they're saying here is that the Pokemon Go integration is not as deep as you think. So you can catch Pokemon by throwing Pokeballs with the touchscreen like you do on Pokemon Go, but I don't think, from what I'm seeing, they don't say it's going to change the battle style too much. That's what I'm worried about. Like, I don't mind throwing, touchscreen Pokeballs, or actually I would kind of like to see some motion. Let me throw the Pokeball with my I was about to say my nunchuck. My Joy-Con, like I'd rock that. I'd put that sucker down and be like, okay. I even start wearing hats again. Give me a haircut, give me another hat, so I can be like, choo. Like, come on now. Like, big kid, I would be a big freaking kid. I would probably embarrass the crap out of myself. Guess what? I don't care. I'm playing Pokemon, bruh. Alright, calm down. But yeah, so Pokemon Go integration is not as deep as you think. Pokemon Go's popularity began during the late stages of production of the game. Let's see, all 807 Pokemon will appear in the National Dex, and you get a decent amount of them in the 2 versions with similar. Through some familiar gimmicks. Let's see, there's some new Pokemon, so newer generation Pokemon sprinkled throughout the world. So talking about like Gen 7, 8, well Gen 7, 6, just later gens than Gen 1 Pokemon will be sprinkled throughout. So, which is something I was hoping that it would do. So I mean, wow, we already gotta go back to Kanto. Do I have to just play with the original 150 again? Let's see. So, of course, there are quite a number of regional forms. Again, this was set up by the previous game. Some are exclusive by version. I couldn't come up with an exact number. So, this right here, this rumor, it sounds feasible. Some of it does contradict itself. Some of it does sound like fan service, but I mean, it's interesting, I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm a little bit more comfortable than I was when I first heard it, because they just said, "Oh, Pokemon Go integration." I was like, "Damn!" I was ready to get mad. All right. So I'm a little bit more comfortable, but it's gonna be an interesting ride to E3. So that's about it for this. Watch out for my anime videos. I got another anime review coming up. Hopefully Wednesday. Well, by the time you get this, it'll probably be Wednesday. But like, comment, subscribe, and as always, folks, keep it real.